What up guys and welcome. My name is Musa and today we're playing Eyes Over Us, which is also a demo and a horror game. This looks quite insane, like it's very, what do you call it, it looks like an acid trip already. We haven't even started yet. The music is quite insane too, so let's just go. Create new profile, that sounds like a great idea. Someone is watching me. Okay. Back, history, skip, autosave. Okay. It's been a while since I interacted with other beings. I remember someone trying to free me from my stone prison, but they just managed to expose part of me. I don't care either way. I was fine underground. They sure wanted to find me. They dug a big hole just to reach me. They cover their faces with masks, like the ancient tribes. Maybe they feel safer this way. The masked ones have been throwing other being... What? The masked ones have been throwing other being here with me. Okay. Most of them failed on the first days of being exposed to my influence and had to be removed. I sense the fear of the two remaining. They look at me in confusion. They don't even know what I am, but neither the masked ones. It has been a long time since I have an opportunity, since have had an opportunity like this. There's more about them than fear. The one closest to me is a male. He's curious, even more than fearful. Oh. It's poking around my surface while talking to the other one. How I will call this one? What will I call this one? Oh, we need to name him. This guy is Jack. Yes, I feel that Jack suits him just fine. I will call him that. The other being is a female. She is angry at Jack for his lack of caution and yelling at the masked ones to let her go free. She's putting on a brave facade for the other, but she is terrified nonetheless. Amusing. What will I call this one? Well, what is her name? I don't know. She can be called what is a cool name? Lila, but Lala. She can be called Liz. There we go. She's called Liz. Yes, I feel that Liz suits her just fine. I will call her that. Do you want to save this configuration so you don't have to do it again in the future? You can change it later. Save. Oh, okay, so I'll place it here. Bang. Return. Thank you very much, game. Yes. Oh. The masked ones had been giving them some resting time, while they disposed of the ones that no longer could resist my influence. I had enough fun for now, but I should use this remaining toys in a more intelligent way. I will give Jack and Liz the freedom they desire, and for this I need to synchronize their emotions. The body will soon follow, and the results will be a treat to witness. This is my gift to them, to the masked ones, to myself, and to you. I wonder what should I do now? Affect Jack's mind. Affect Jack's. How should I affect Jack? Inflict fear, inflict anger, inflict sorrow, inflict hope. Give him hope. Jack's mind is suddenly filled with memories of his time in his last dead-end job. Memories that once brought him pain and somewhat uncomforting now. Bring him a sense of normality. If he gets out of here, maybe he will have another outlook on life. Now, when he gets out, he thinks. People escape from prison all the time. The masked ones will make a mistake eventually. He just has to survive until then. He is now more certain that he will live to see sunlight again. This has been a nice test. They are not the only ones that are performing experiments here. No one is truly in control, not even me or you. We are all being experimented on. It would be wise to always remember this. Jack notes a change in the movements of the masked ones. Probably the start of another one of their tests. Soon the crane's platform descend with another package for them. One closer inspection, Jack noticed that it's a brand new mahjong set? I don't know what that is. The loud voice indicates them to take the game and start playing. I wonder what should I do now? Affect Jack's mind. Expand influence. No, Liz. She also needs some hope. How should I affect Liz? Give her hope. Jack takes the pieces and start placing them on the board. Liz imitates him. After all the pieces are in place, they start playing. For a while the masked ones watch, taking measures and recording videos. After some minutes, the masked ones announce an official game. They read the rules, and the wall of the cave is illuminated with the projections of a timer. The timer counts the total seconds between movements. Now they truly feel like they are in a tournament. Jack and Liz are actually excited for the game. Their mind almost forgot that they are being held against their will. They play some rounds, getting increasingly competitive. After almost an hour of intense competition, there is finally a winner. The loud voice announces that Jack is the winner. Jack jumps around and celebrates his victory. This irritates Liz, that has never been a good loser. But she managed to control her impulses and just brushes off Jack's victory. The masked ones lower their crane's platform and instructs them to place the ball there and take a package. The package is filled with food, and by their reaction, the food is of their liking. The loud voice instructs them to eat, and they do so. They feel a little uneasy, but they are not going to reject that kind of food. The masked ones write down the results and starts preparing the next test. Jack notes change in the movements of the masked ones. Probably the start of another one of the tests. Soon the crane's platform descends, this time carrying two human figures. As the platform descends, Jack notices more detail about them. The taller figure is outfitted with heavy armor. Jack recognizes the rifle, an A545. He remembered reading an article about it in a magazine he bought from a gas station not long ago. The type of magazine that had equal parts guns, hunting and fishing equipment, and female anatomy displayed. The tall masked one jumps out of the platform before it reaches the ground, surprisingly agile for all the equipment he is carrying. The figure points the gun at them, and with an electronical amplified voice order them to step aside and keep their distance. As the gun points at his face, he starts examining it, remembering the details read on the magazine. Iron sights that consists of a rotary rear drum, and a hooded front post, creating a significantly longer sightline. Holy fuck, that's a lot of text. An fired mode selector / safety levers, especially useful for the soldiers, since it seems he was left-handed. Retractable and adjustable shoulder stock, now in extended position. The Warsaw packed side rail, bracket from previous models, is replaced by a Picatinny rail on a redesigned receiver top for Oh well, I skipped. What? All this information dump is boring me. Now this man managed to retain all of this really specific information is almost beyond my comprehension. The second figure has already descended at the platform as I regain my interests. Liz noticed the distinct medical clothes that the masked one is wearing. No armor in sight, and only a side pistol. She's not able to identify the model. She never had any interests in guns. In her eyes, a gun is a gun. All of them will kill you if the user shoots you. That was enough knowledge. Jack, of course, noticed that the pistol was a 9x18mm Macaw. Gears in his head start turning. Both guns are used by the Russian army. Standard equipment. It's not okay. Were they in a Russian installation? The security was Russian. Maybe a PM? Or was the Russian state involved in this? Were they moved by plane while they were unconscious? If that is correct, the possibility of being found or escaped started to be even more remote. I wonder, what should I do? Expand influence. If I expand my influence, I should be able to influence a given emotion in a much bigger manner. What emotion should I focus on expanding its influence for the time being? I want it to be hope. Now I will be able to inflict even a greater form of hope upon them, at least for a little while. The doctor starts examining them. Liz is the first patient. She is surprised by the care the doctor has while cleaning her wounds and suturing the cuts. The doctor works really fast, and in no time he is already tending to Jack wounds. The doctor asks questions about their mood as they are being examined. This feels like a joke. They are being kept prisoners and tortured, and then asked how they feel about it. The doctor gives them some pills and a couple of injections to avoid tetanus. They assume? Tenderness, they assume, or infections. They decide to trust in them for now. Not that they have much of a choice while they're being pointed by guns. The doctor gets back to the platform, followed by the tall one, and they both start ascending once again. Jack and Liz feel conflicted by the experience. They much rather the masked ones to be tending to their wounds instead of causing them. The masked ones write down the results and start preparing the next experiment. There's movement on the top of the hole. The masked ones are sealing all the places where air could come out. This one's just noticed and start getting worried. This is bound to get interesting. Seems like no more air is getting in either. What are this one going to do? I wonder, what should I do now? Affect Jack's mind. How should I affect Jack? Inflict anger. Jack's mind is invaded with images of when he was first abducted by the masked ones. A reminder of how he was punched, subdued, and thrown in a van with other 3 people. Suddenly he feels nostalgic for the other 2 companions that are no longer with him. They were tortured alongside him, and when they could not longer bear the pressure, they were taken, never to be seen again. Each memory fills him with immense anger. Oh, he's angry now. Both of them notice that the air is getting thinner. Jack managed to remain conscious, breathing in a calm manner. But after some time, even that is not enough, and he loses consciousness. Liz tries to remain calm. She knows that she needs to buy time. The masked ones would not waste their lives in such a silly manner. At least she hopes that. Some moments later, the air return and both regain consciousness. Blood pours from their noses. They know some damage was done, but they are alive for now. The masked one analyze the results. This will not be the last time something like this happens. The masked ones seem to be getting ready for another experiment. A noise inside the stone walls of the hall lets Jack and Liz know to get ready for anything. Hidden holes in the walls open up. The sounds of legs emerge from the holes long before they can see what's about to appear. I wonder, what should I do now? Affect Liz's mind. How should I affect Liz? Inflict anger. Liz's stress was really high. She was having trouble adapting to her new life inside the stone prison. The loud voice indicates her when to eat, for how much time, how much. The same with sleep, the same for shitting. She hated micromanagement, the feeling of someone always breathing on her neck, giving orders. This drives her crazy mad. Oh, she's angry now. She's freaking angry, guys. Finally, whatever was on those tubes comes out. A myriad of small cockroaches pour out of the holes in the stone walls. Some odd white ones stand out of the black mass, produce even more disgust in Jack and Liz. Jack is especially affected. He remembered when living in a small rented room in an old house, he was frequently visited by these kind of colorless vermins. Some of the bigger cockroaches started flying around them while they stomp on the ones on the ground. Despite the disgust, these vermins are far from fear-inducing and even further from presenting a danger to them. Jack had enough of this. Far from being scared, he is furious. He crushes the mermaids under his fist. Once he locates a stone of good size, he uses that to finish the remaining ones. Liz starts laughing at the pathetic remains and high-fives Jack. Jack starts laughing as well. They feel like they have defeated the masked ones, at least one on this one. Their stomach starts speaking to them. Nourishment is of the essence. Jack starts looking at the creatures that surround them in another light. Maybe this was an opportunity. Despite the creatures being crushed and soaked in dirt, the hunger is just too much to be a picky eater. Liz looked at them as well. A shared hunger and thought. They both know what they should do. They grab the remains of the creatures close their eyes and start eating. They try not to puke, and keep on eating as fast as they can in order not to taste the strange meat. Regardless of that, they have obtained the nutritions that will keep them alive a little bit longer. The masked ones take notes and prepares for the next test. The power of the expansion has receded for the moment. My influence is back to normal. Okay, fair. Look at this image. Alright. I'm looking at an image. What emotion comes to mind when you look at this? Confusion. I don't know if that's an emotion. That is interesting. Let me see. Fear, anger, sorrow. Sorrow. What word comes to your mind? Bird. That's truly a sorrow-inducing bird, I guess. You ran out of time for achieving convergency in this demonstration, but don't worry, when you're playing the real thing you will have as much time as you can gather. There we go, guys. That was this game, this demo. This was interesting. It's more of a different kind of choices leads to different kind of outcomes. And definitely if I played through this demo multiple times, I would get different kind of outcomes for what they will do towards the cockroaches. But that's all the time I have for this one, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.